Hello everyone, I'm D-Mind, the mind of one and all, and this is an update video. This is actually my first update video for this channel. Aside from that April Fool's video a while back. Yeah. But this one is real. This time it's an actual update video. I don't even know what I'm gonna use in the background for this video, probably some random gameplay. But yeah. Now the anime season has just about came to an end, and with that, as you probably already have read in the title, I'm starting to make anime reviews. Now, I actually been wanting to do some anime related content pretty much ever since I started this channel. Now, what this basically means is that I'll be making and uploading anime reviews on this channel as well as Let's Plays. This channel will still primarily be a gaming channel as these anime reviews won't come out so often. But isn't this channel called D-Mind Gaming? Well, yeah. But my hobbies do include video games and anime, and that's what this channel is about. A little backstory is that actually this channel was supposed to be called D-Mind. Just D-Mind. No gaming, no nothing. But after I thought up the name of D-Mind and everything, I wondered, wait, what if someone already took the name? So I looked it up, and someone actually did. Though it wasn't a gaming channel. Now this was before I even uploaded anything yet, so I was thinking, should I change the name entirely? But I really liked the name and it even had a meaning behind it, so I decided, well, why not just add gaming at the end, since this is a gaming channel. Plus it'll help people know that this channel is a gaming channel as well, so that's how it became D-Mind Gaming. Alright, so enough about that. Now I want to talk about a bit more about the reviews themselves. Now these reviews will be done in a series basis and not on an episode basis. So it won't be like episode 1 review, then episode 2 review, no. I'll watch an anime series or season from start to finish and then give my opinions on it overall. I'll talk about the good, the bad, and what I liked and disliked, among other things. So before I start the review, I'll give a brief summary about the setting and plot for those who don't know, about the anime I'm reviewing, then move on to talk about the characters and so on. Now, these reviews are for the most part spoiler free, so don't worry about that. However, I do feel that it's fine to talk about what has been established in the first 2 episodes. This is to allow me to actually talk about the series itself. And I feel that 1 episode is not enough. So I think it's fair to talk about the events and what we know from the first 2 episodes. Now of course I'll try not to spoil anything if I do think that it's a spoiler, so don't worry about that. However, as for when I do go into spoiler territory, I'll give a spoiler warning beforehand and then put up a spoiler tag in the video like this. It's somewhere in the video right now. And if you wish not to be spoiled, then you can just skip to when the spoiler tag goes down. Though I'll probably put an annotation link on the video for you to skip the spoiler right before the spoiler tag goes up anyway, so no worries there. Now these reviews will be audio based, meaning it will most likely be a still image of the anime in question as I talk about it. At least for now, that is how I plan to do it. I'm just starting out and I like to play around with it a bit before I decide to do anything more with it. That is if I ever do decide to do anything more with it. And lastly, I want to talk about the rating system. I think a rating system is helpful and can help determine how much I enjoy a particular series. And with that, the rating system I'll be using for these reviews will be entirely opinion based. Well, the reviews themselves are opinion based, but what I mean is that the reviews won't be objective based. Now let me explain. In an objective-based review, you have several categories like visual, sound, and story, and so on, and each category will have their own rating system from 1 to 10. Once you've rated them, you add them up, then divide them by the number of categories to get a number of 10. Now this is the rating system that I won't be using, and let me explain why. While this rating system is more straightforward, what I don't like is that it values each of the categories equally, which I don't like. For example, I value story and characters, as well as a few other things, higher than things like visual and sound. and so an anime with really good visuals and sound, but with a bad story and characters could perhaps compare favorably to an anime that has good story and characters but perhaps not as good visuals and sound. And when it comes to overall production quality, which is visuals, music, and voice acting and so on, I'm actually quite forgiving. Like, as long as it doesn't take away from the experience or affect it in a negative way, I can pretty much forgive mediocre visuals and sound if the series has good story and characters and so on. Now, of course, I'll give praise where praise is due. If an anime has fantastic visuals and sound, I'll definitely give praise to it. But I do value these things differently, and so with that, I'm going with an opinion-based rating system, which basically takes everything into account, like the visuals and the story and so on, and after all that, based on my overall enjoyment, I'll then give it a final rating out of 10. This rating system also makes a 10 out of 10 more possible, as in an objective-based review, it's really difficult to even get a 9 out of 10. For example, Shinsekai Yori, or From the New World in English, an anime that I've given a full 10 out of 10, and it's actually the first 10 out of 10 I ever gave to an anime actually. And while I will continue to praise that anime to the high heavens, it would not have been possible to give that anime a 10 out of 10, because while I do believe the writing in that is a masterpiece, the overall production quality would not get a 10. It will most likely have gotten a 7 for those categories like visuals and sound, which would definitely bring the score down quite a bit. With that said, if you have not watched Shinsekai Yori, I highly recommend that you do though. Be warned, it is not a light watch, and it can get pretty deep if you analyze it close enough. Though the first episode of that series will probably make you think, what the f. But don't stop there. While episodes 2 to 4 is a bit slow, as it tries to slowly introduce you to the world, but after that, it just reels you in all the way to the end. Perhaps I should review it, but then I'll have to find time to watch it again and refresh my memory. But other than that, I plan to review 2 animes from the season. The first being, I can't remember the Japanese name, but in English it's Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? Which at the time of this recording is still airing. Well, the last episode, episode 13, has yet to air, though it will be out pretty soon. And the second anime I plan to review is called Etotama, which at the time of this recording has just finished airing, so I'll probably do that first. Also, I have an anime list, which I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check that out. You can see which anime I'm currently watching, which anime I plan to watch but never got around to watching them yet, and which anime I've already completed as well as the score I gave them. Now let me go through the score system really quick from 1 to 10. 1 and 2 is just abysmal, really terrible. You won't likely see me ever give these scores to an anime, mainly because I just don't watch bad anime. In fact, I don't think there's a single anime in my list that's rated a 4 and below. I guess I really just don't watch bad anime, and even the worst show I watch on that list, I think deserves at least a 5. Anyway, moving on, 3 is very bad, 4 is bad, and 5 is mediocre. It's not really good, not really bad, but it's just mediocre. 6 to me is good or average. Yes, average is good. 7 is very good or solid, while 8 is great. 9 is fantastic, and 10 is a masterpiece. Now, like with Shinsekai Yori, an anime doesn't have to be completely perfect to get a 10 out of 10. It just has to do one or a few things spectacularly well and have the good heavily outweighing the bad. In Shinsekai Yori's case, it was the story, writing, and the depth of the plot and its intellectual and mature themes that made me give it a 10 out of 10. With that said, it's still not easy for an anime to get a 10 from me. Like, the only 2 series that I've ever given a 10 is Shinsekai Yori and Code Geass. Then there is the 0.5 system. Now, when I give an anime a 0.5, like a 7.5 out of 10, it means that the anime was very close to getting to the next score, but just didn't do well enough or had just enough drawbacks keeping it from getting to that next score. Now since my anime list doesn't allow you to give a 0.5 to the score, I'll just round it down, so a 7.5 would just be a 7 in the list. And that is pretty much it for this update video. So to round it up, expect an anime review for Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in the Dungeon? And Etotama. This has been D-Mind, the mind of one and all. And I hope to see you again next time.